Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Malikicowtipper bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. Tonight my opponent will be Sliss. Let's check out his profile real quick. And even though I've been playing a lot of platinum level players, with all these games, I have to say that this is by far the best footage that I'm going to be bringing you guys. Just absolutely crazy game. Really loved playing the game, and I know I've been doing a lot of ZvPs lately. That's just what I've been coming up against in the ladder. Right now I don't know if it's in specifically where I am, but just a lot of Protoss players. So up here in Lost Temple in the 1 o'clock position, maybe the 12 o'clock, not really important, we have Sliss as the red Protoss, and Malikicowtipper representing the blue Zerg down here in the, we'll call this the 8:30 corner of Lost Temple. So not really a very far rush distance as far as that goes. Might not be the best as far as a fast expand on the Zerg's part, just because it's such a short distance for those Zealots, even though they are slow, to get over to your base. And something that a lot of Protoss seem to be doing lately, and you're going to see Sliss do it right here, is going for a really greedy, wall off right here. Probably going to be a gateway, a cyber core, a forge, something like that. And then I find this almost right away with my drone, and seeing that pylon going out over there basically tells me that he's going to be walling off over here. Now that tells me a couple things that I can do. I can let him put down the buildings, spend a lot of his money doing that, and then push at him with some roaches, some lings, maybe even quick tech to Hydra and take out a lot of those buildings. Or, if he's going to do that, he probably won't be pushing out anytime soon, because throwing up a gateway, throwing up a forge, throwing up a fast expand, which is kind of the purpose of this build, doesn't really leave him with a lot of extra money to do those kind of things. So, you guys are going to see how I react to this, and I'm going to pull up the income tab right here. We're dead even, 12 to 12 as far as harvesters go. So there goes that first gateway, and I'm just trying to keep my drone over here as long as I can, just to make sure that he's doing that build. I'm going to pull him back, send him back over here, just because I've got a pretty solid idea of what's going to be going on. Right here we can see the forge, so pretty much just like I thought. This is going to be a wall off right here, probably followed by a fast expand. So my response, and throwing down a spawning pool, I decided to go for a 14 hatch, 14 spawning pool this time. Seeing that, I thought, well, I can either fast expand myself and then try to get ahead of him economically, or I can let him throw down these buildings, waste a lot of, I shouldn't say waste a lot of money, but spend a lot of his early money doing that. See, he's training the Zealot, going to use that to wall off over here, and try to push out against this. So you got a gateway here, pretty sturdy building, forge, fairly sturdy, but these pylons are relatively weak. A photon cannon going up back here, something that, as long as you've got some roaches or some hydras, especially with the new 4 range, they're not really going to have too much of a problem taking that out. So I do have one more harvester than he does right now, and that's just because he's spending a lot of money getting this stuff up and ready, and he's probably going to be waiting for this probe over here to throw down that second nexus. So he'll get 1 or 2 zealots, and that'll be enough for him to hold that off. Now you'll see a moving overlord over here. I want to see what's going on over here, because before I commit to this plan, this heavy attack plan, I want to know what's going on. So there goes the fast expand right down there, new nexus, 1000 out of 1000, and he's probably going to send this probe out right here just to do some scouting, just to see what's going on. My overlord is slowly making his way over there. We're dead even on the harvester count right now. Let's check out the APM real quick. Neither of us seem to be very high APM players as far as that goes. Like I've mentioned in previous games, I'm trying to get myself above that 50-60 limit, but our APM is going to be going crazy for each of us at the end of this game, so it's all going to be good. Right now he's actually pulling ahead with one more harvester than me, pulling his drone up in here, and I've got 4 lings out, not really going to cause too many problems, but even though he's only got 1 zealot, this photon cannon basically means my 4 lings are not going to do any good, and I'm going to be continuing, if we look at the production right here, to be pushing out lings. I've got Zergling speed, because I'm going to go up here. My overlord hasn't gotten over here yet, so I don't know what's going on. And I'm going to be poking him with these lings right about as that speed finishes. I should have waited another second or two before moving, but there we go. There's a photon cannon, and there goes my speed. Probably could have gotten in and out without losing that ling if I would have had the speed, but now I know what's going on. My overlord is just coming up over here, and he's going to get shot once or twice before he goes over the high ground, but it's really not that big of a deal, because now I've got observation. I can see what's happening. That cyber core is already down. We've got 2 zealots out. I'm starting to pump roaches, and he is still pumping out drones. So if we take a look at the income right here, he's ahead 21 to 17, which is a Zerg player, something you really don't want to do. If I'm going to push out against this, I'm going to have to do it really, really soon because I just simply will not have the economy. And I'm actually throwing down a Bangling Nest because I think at this point I decided if he's got 2 pylons and a gateway and a forge, I'm just going to blow all that up and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start wrecking stuff. Because I'm assuming, and I can't, let's take a look and see if my Overlord can see what's going on over here. Yep, I can see that the Cyber Core is already up, so I know that means warp gates are coming in. I see that there's actually a hole in the wall right there, so I'm hoping to get a Speedling run by my roaches, just so slow, they don't really know what's going on. I do have my lair up, and I actually cancel that Bangling Nest. I'm going to go for a Spire, because I want to start to be able to harass this. So right here, he gets a glimpse of what's coming on, so his Zealots will definitely be in place. He'll have that Photon Cannon up, and I decide at this point that it's time for me to push out, just because I do have a decent number of troops. My Lings right here, not going to have any problems with these Zealots whatsoever. I'm going to focus down this pylon, because I don't think that this one's going to be covering that cannon over there. So there, those Lings run through, then I'm going to focus down this cannon right here. So with all those Roaches and the Lings on there, that cannon's easily going to go down. And then I'm going to send his workers out to attack me, so 29 to 18, huge economic advantage. I'm going to snipe a few workers, bring it back down to a little bit of fair play right there, but still gives them a big advantage. Now, right here, I'm rallying up if we check out the production tab. 12 units of Zerglings, so I'm committing to this attack to take this down. And my goal right now is to take down that Cyber Core because it's expensive, takes a long time to build, and that'll delay his warp gates. If we take a look at what he's actually doing in his base, brilliant transition. He's going straight to a Stargate thinking, alright, you're going to play Roaches, I'm going to throw some Void Rays at you, and what are you going to do about that? So I'm sending in my Zerglings right here, and that Cyber Core is just about ready to fall. I probably could have taken down that pylon as well. There we go. And then all of a sudden, there comes a Void Ray, and at this point, I am not expecting this at all. I really had no clue that's going on. He's just going to sit here and pick off my Roaches. Void Rays with the new Void Ray nerf, I gotta say, as a Zerg player, I am appreciating that these Roaches, like, we're going to go up here anyway, we really don't care. My response to that is going to be to pump out a Queen, quick tech to Hydra, and then throw down an Evolution Chamber. The purpose of the Evolution Chamber is if this is going to be a continued air harass, I would at least like to put down 1 or 2 Spore Colonies just as a little bit of a defense, because right now I've got 1 Queen, and that's all that separates me from 1, 2, coming out 3 Void Rays. Now, it's actually kind of sad about the Void Rays is they are so heavy on the minerals, and I killed 6 probes, managed to kill that Cyber Core, kill a Pylon, a Photon Cannon, power down the Forge, so that attack actually, tough to say if it really benefited me, but I think it definitely slowed him down. If I wouldn't have pushed out there, he would have fortified, he would have had more units, and I think I would have lost the game almost by default, so he is going to be picking off my Overlords right now. I am supply cap, but I've got 2 Queens and some Hydras. He didn't push in quite quick enough. That'll easily be enough to push back that attack. But as you guys probably noticed, I have not expanded yet. I'm doing some pretty gnarly one base play for Zerg, which is really not where you want to be. 18 Harvesters, as you can see. I have not built drones in forever. I have not even populated the second gas over here. I've just been focusing very, very heavily on my military units, and he is going to take down my site, so I'm going to lose that. As you can see here, he's continuing the Chrono Boost drones. He knows that he does not have that expansion. He knows that he's got the Void Rays, he's got the Air Tech. Here comes the Photon Cannons. He's going to wall this off. Thermo Void Rays, and he's just probably going to keep up the harass, but I've got enough Hydras here and enough Queens, and I'll be bringing out more Queens as well, just to deal with this air attack, and he's just going to hide these guys right over here for a bit. 5 kills on that guy, 1 kill on that guy, 1 kill on that guy. They've been well worth, the transition into that. Put the Cyber Core back up here this time. He's not going to let me take out that again. More Photon Cannons going up, and 10 more Harvesters than me. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm going for the Group Spines, and here we go. I'm going to be throwing down a Hatchery, and right away he spots it. He's like, dude, you're not going to get that expansion. I do manage to cancel it in time, even managed to save the drone. So he's going to pull these Void Rays back here, but I still haven't produced any more Queens. I have an Observer up. I've got Hydras. I was hoping to kind of catch him, but here we go. I'm going to see if I can't pick off one of the Void Rays. And even though he's got 3 Void Rays, he has not committed to building any more of those. He's actually transitioning into Robo. So more than likely, I stopped a tech switch, force a tech switch going to the Stargates. He might have been doing that already just because he had 2 of those up. So the Gateway was probably just a response for early units, but he probably intended to do the Stargate right off the bat. I think I just got lucky because my build might not have been able to counter that. So the early push definitely revealed that, but now, stopping to produce the Void Rays, 2 more Gateways going up, the Robo facility going up, so he's probably going to tech into, War of the Worlds style gameplay, Colossus, shoot, can't think, Colossus, Zealot, Stalker, maybe even some Templars out there for good measure, and he's just going to continue to use these Void Rays to harass the heck out of me, and I can't say I blame him. +1 weapon, so he's definitely going to transition into a ground-based army. I am going to try to put up this expansion, because I know I can't continue doing this for long, so another Queen coming up, and I did manage to... Nope, I still didn't get one of those Void Rays, so being really annoying. He's laughing at me, because I think I told him that, that was just a good tech. Let's check out the message log right here. No, he's just laughing. He's like, ha ha ha, I'm totally just, picking away at your overlords. I'm supply capping you again. You're not going to be able to build anything. And I'm just going to chill him out over here in your base. What are you going to do? And still haven't thrown up anything aside from the Hydras. I do have 4 queens, so I decide that I'm going to move out because I've just kind of got a feeling that if he's still harassing me with those Void Rays, he's trying to build up his economy, and as we can see right here, 37 to 20, he's going to be sniping my Evo Chamber right here, but with 4 queens, I'm not too concerned about taking down these Void Rays. They're going to go down really quickly, and being that they no longer have that crazy boost in damage, he should run his Void Rays away. And right here, my army is actually in a nice position. Even though he's got cannons, Hydras do really well against cannons. I'm just going to run these Lings in there, and they're just going to start attacking everything. Roaches, Hydra's just going to start focusing down the cannons. And it would be foolish for him to move the Void Rays in, because the Hydras would literally eat them alive. And right now, that's going to go down. There we go. This gateway probably going to fall, but what do we have coming out here? We got a Colossi, nearly finished. Not working on Thermal Lance yet, but I'm going to pick off that pylon, power down these buildings for the second time. There comes Void Rays, and just continuing to be a pain in the butt on those Void Rays with my queens. So I'm glad I produced those. They're great anti-air. You can always do well with